morning. I am Hennessy Ibarra, and you're watching Channel 13 News, Los Angeles and around the world. We're coming live to you from beautiful California, and today's date is April 4th, 2024. And thank you for tuning in with us this early morning. Our top story this morning is about a pair of rescue dogs from South Korea stranded at LAX airport. Danny and Yoshi. In addition to being a rare breed that was saved from a kill shelter, Danny is one of the cute puppies who also survived a fire at the rescue center that claimed of 20 other dogs. According to the organization that flew him to Los Angeles, Danny is one of only 600 rare dog breeds in the world. The endangered breed had a natural bobtail and is considered a national treasure in South Korea. Rescuers pulled Danny from the shelter before he was killed for lack of space. Soon after, Danny managed to escape the Love Rescue Center as it burned down killing 20 other dogs. Danny and Yoshi are now safe and sound with their new loving parents. Off to Jennifer Hernandez with some local news.
Thank you, Hennessy, for that tragic story. Hello, everyone from Los Angeles. Finally, after 2 decades, there was justice yesterday. The Los Angeles District Attorney's Office exonerated 2 men who were convicted of murdering a 15-year-old boy in Downey, California. District Attorney George Gascon said, "The exoneration of these 2 men serves as a reminder of the importance of accountability within our own office and throughout the justice system." In 2001, a jury convicted Ronald Velasquez Jr. and Abraham Villalobos for the murder of 15-year-old boy Michael Roybal. This was based on the testimony of a witness who identified them as the perpetrators. The night of the murder, on September 2, 2000, the teenager opened the door of an apartment he was visiting. During the trial, the witness positively identified Velasquez Jr. as the shooter and Villalobos as his accomplice. Her testimony helped and supported the sentence of these 2 men, 50 years to life in prison for Velasquez Jr. and 15 years to life in prison for Villalobos. In 2021, Velasquez Jr. filed a claim to the Conviction Integrity Unit that he was wrongfully convicted. And after thorough examination and new evidence, the team pinned the murder on another man. His name was Sergio Torres. He was killed in a drive-by shooting just a month after Roybal's death. LA's district attorneys expressed deep regret and acknowledged the pain and suffering caused, and they also acknowledged the impact the situation has had on the lives of the affected individuals and their loved ones. Our hearts go out to Ronald and Abraham and their friends and family. Now on to Nurali Pandya with some uplifting news.
Thank you, Jennifer, for that story. Our thoughts and prayers are with Abraham and Ronald and their families. In some brighter news, 2 teenage boys in Moscow, Russia are credited with saving over 100 people from an attack. This is what the theater looked like before and after the devastating attack that shows just how brave these 2 students were. 2 young students who were serving as cloakroom attendants at Moscow's Crocus City Hall during the recent terrorist attack are being praised as heroes for their role in aiding the rescue of numerous concert attendees. 15-year-old Islam Kalibov and 14-year-old Artyom Donskoy were honored with bravery medals during a ceremony led by Russia's Commissioner for Children's Rights. The incident occurred on March 22, 2024, when armed assailants entered the Crocus City Hall, opened fire on over 6,000 concert attendees, and set parts of the fire ablaze. Kalibov, originally from the Central Asian country of Kyrgyzstan, mentioned to reporters that he initially believed the commotion stemmed from noisy repair work in the hall. However, his perception changed when he noticed people running in a panic. Together with Donskoy, they guided the escaping attendees away from the block hallways and locked maintenance doors, safely ushering them out through the exits. "I understood that if I didn't react, many people, including me, would lose their lives," Kalibov stated. He also emphasized that he made sure he was the last to leave the venue so that he didn't leave anyone behind. Ravil Gaynardin, an Islamic religious leader and the Grand Mufti of Russia, presented Kalibov with the Medal of Muslims of Russia during Friday prayers this past week. Famous rapper Morgenstern also said he would send Islam the equivalent of about $10,000 in rubles. Wow, what brave students. We are going to a quick break to hear a word from our sponsors, and then it's Paolo with sports. Don't go anywhere.
It doesn't matter what comes, fresh goes better in life. With mental fresh and full of life. Nothing gets to you, staying fresh, staying cool. With mental fresh and full of life. Fresh goes better with mental fresh. Fresh goes better with mental fresh and full of life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
Welcome back. Now handing it off to Paulo Obergosa with everything you need to know about sports and the announcement of who won those Cal Poly ticket games.
Thank you very much, Hennessy. You're watching the Sports Update with me, Paulo Obergosa. Thank you for staying with us. Now, before we get into sports news, we have the results for our Channel 13 Cal Poly Mustangs versus Riverside U Highlanders ticket route sponsored by Mentos. We picked one lucky winner to take themselves and an extra to the April 7th game. Double F seats waiting for them. All right, do we have... All right, we do. We have a Philip here in California. All right, do we have Philip?
Yeah, I'm here, right, yeah?
Philip, my friend, you have been chosen for the Channel 13 ex-NCAA Cal Poly v Riverside game at the Riverside Athletics Facility sponsored by Mentos. How do you feel?
Yes, I'm so excited! Oh my god!
All right, thank you. Philip, take it easy. Have a great time at that game for us. If you want to be the first to hear about giveaways like this, go to www.channel13.com and join our mailing list. Now, in sports news, we're continuing our coverage of the March Madness NCAA men's basketball tournament. We have officially entered the Final Four with the championships coming up on the 8th. We'll of course have updates covering them here on Channel 13 with yours truly when the time comes. In the Final Four, we have Alabama's Crimson Tide versus the University of Connecticut Huskies and North Carolina's Wolfpack versus the Purdue Boilermakers of Indiana. We were hoping to see Duke up there, but they just barely edged out Houston in Sweet 16, 45-41, and lost their Final Four place to the Wolfpack in the Elite Eight, who have thus far had a very standard performance. Alabama eked out their Final Four place to the Wolfpack in the Elite Eight, who have thus far had a very standard performance. Alabama eked out their Final Four position against Clemson in the 8s and against North Carolina's Tar Heels in the Sweet 16. UConn, of course, continues to flow through the competition into the Final Four along with Purdue, who have also had a very strong running. The Final Four is going to be UConn v. Alabama, NC State versus Purdue, both on the 6th. We'll, of course, have updates on those when the time comes. In Major League news, Nikola Jokic slated as probable for the upcoming Denver v. San Antonio game after it was revealed by the Denver Nuggets PR team that he has signs of hip, knee, and wrist inflammation. The Nuggets might decide to keep him out of the game as to not risk any recovery impingement. Thankfully, they're just playing the Spurs though, am I right? In a statement, Jokic said, "Hopefully I'll get a little better, just so I don't feel it anytime I shoot. But it's good. I'm used to it, dealing with pain. It's kind of normal for me." Head coach Michael Malone said that he was surprised Jokic was even able to play in the March 29 game against Minnesota, in which game Jokic put up an impressive 32 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, and a block despite his injury, which he was very active in playing with. Jokic also put up a decent 46% shooting in that same game. Denver has lost their last 2 games though, the first against Phoenix on the 27th and Minnesota on the 29th, hoping for a speedy recovery for the Serbian Superman. Just before we switch to the weather with Steph, we have a tradition of hearing from our audience here at Channel 13, and today's shout out goes to some real baseball heads down in South Central. These gentlemen with Georgetown gear on asked me to shout out C-Rag, Dirt, CD, and Ray Ray. Great bunch of guys down there. We now take it to weather with Channel 13 meteorologist and Los Angeles icon, Stefania Khan. Steph, think about him as links this weekend. How's that weather looking?
Thank you, Paolo. We'll be getting into that momentarily. I'm Stefania Khan, and this is the Channel 13 Weather Report. Jumping in, spring has sprung, but we haven't shaken winter off just yet. with temperatures dropping tonight and about a 40% chance of some more April showers. Potential for more rain and thunderstorms tomorrow, with a high chance of sunshine finally breaking through on Tuesday. So Palo might be hitting those links after all. And that warm weather should carry us through the next week, with highs up to 72 degrees on Thursday. And speaking of sunshine, this Monday, April 8th, the total solar eclipse passes over parts of the US. Here in the Los Angeles area, people can see a partial solar eclipse with about a 49% coverage of the sun. Here in this graphic, you can see the process will begin just after 10 a.m., reach its peak at 11:12 a.m., and end at 12:22 p.m. So be sure to grab your eclipse glasses to catch a glimpse of this wondrous yearly phenomenon. And if you follow astrology, this could be the closing of one chapter and the start of another.
Well, that's all the time we have today, viewers.
This is not pausing.
Thank you for tuning in to Channel 13 News, Los Angeles and around the world. Stay safe and see you next time.